A drainage water recycling system captures water from the drainage system and stores the water in a reservoir. That water can then be used to irrigate the crop during the growing season. The drainage water recycling system has two benefits. The first benefit is improved crop yield and reduced yield variability from year to year. The second benefit is improved water quality.
It's been a little bit of a tough road for Brian Gates here on the closed loop system because of some of our weather challenges. We had a wet fall, but we were able to get the 4.9 acre pond installed last fall. Took about 6 weeks to get that installed. Could have been done quicker, but we were in between the raindrops. And then the tile main system, there's 3 mains, were installed last fall by Don DeYoungie, the contractor. He had also put in the infrastructure for the pumping plants where all the water comes to. The 1,000-gallon-minute pump was installed this spring with the electrical system. It has a 3-phase converter that was put in, and he's got a little bit of electrical work to be done at the road, and the pump is ready to go.
Tom started out with a plan, and they RTK'd the field, so we knew the elevations and stuff. And so we laid it all out and got in touch with the 3 pipelines that run through the property. It changed everything from what we originally wanted to do. So we had to move a main behind the pipeline because it was too shallow, but we took it up to the road where we could cross because it was deeper up there where the pipeline crossed the road. Basically getting over the other 2 pipelines, we got as deep as we could be. It worked out okay.
The Conservation Showcase that was established here is a tremendous partnership between Missouri State NRCS as well as our Missouri land improvement contractors here in the state of Missouri. That's to feature new, innovative conservation practices, advance them to the field scale, or if there's a new practice that we haven't seen in the state of Missouri, demonstrate the efficacy of that practice.
It took us roughly 8 days to complete this project. There was over $4 million worth of equipment on site. We logged in over 1,300 hours, so it was a very extensive project. The site design was done by the NRCS. Over 3 years, we had multiple visits out here on site and with NRCS and offices because we knew we had a short time. So with them being able to put that on a thumb drive, we could install it on our machinery that we had out there, and it would tell us exactly the elevation and where to place the soil when we was building the structure. The first 2 days was what we call stripping. We had to take the topsoil off. Through the NRCS specs and the soil type they wanted us to use, we had to get to that clay layer. So we actually had to remove, I'm going to say, an estimated 10,000 yards of topsoil. We had to place that outside of our borrow areas and level it down. That was kind of an unforeseen event. We was hoping that we would not have to move quite as much. But once we got down to that clay layer, that's when we could actually start hauling for the structure at that point. What we were able to do when we took that topsoil off, we were able to layer that in the existing ditches and low areas. So now they'll be able to, in future, utilize those ditches where we put the topsoil as productive ground. So when we look over the whole site, the loss out of production is going to be minimal. It's going to probably be, I'm going to say, around that 6 to 7 acres instead of the whole 12-acre area. So it's not only a benefit to have the water, but it's also a benefit to be able to use the topsoil and gain them some more production in the ground. With the completion of the structure, it doesn't look like there's that much soil that's been moved, but we had almost 40,000 cubic yards of material that we moved in that 8-day time frame. I'd say the biggest issue we had was the core trench. They had done the soil samples that they knew that there was some soil that was not the best. They were afraid that it was going to permeate through the structure. So we did have to go down like an extra 6 feet to core that out to put the clay layer back in so that we would not lose any of the water out of the site.